How are you?
Tired.
Tired?
I've been doing, this is my, I think, 10th interview today.
So I guess everybody's been asking you all sorts of things back 21 years of Kiss, huh?
Not 21 years, 21 albums.
Well, my albums, yes, was it 15 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. So 21 albums, 21st album? Was it
21st.
21st? What's going to be best one?
I hope so. I mean, I think it is. What am I supposed to say? She's sitting there. It took longer to write because we were concerned that the material be the best that it could. There were 50 songs written and 12 recorded. 11 were used. There's one other song called "Are You Always This Hot" that was that was recorded but not used.
B-side of some single?
No, we never finished it.
Oh, you never finished it.
Maybe it wasn't right for the album. I'm not sure. Please. You want a drink?
No, thanks.
Coca-Cola? No?
No.
No. Sophia Loren? No. I don't know what I'm saying.
So you took a long time to write it.
Well, we didn't take a long time to write it because we write fast. We wrote a lot of songs, is what we did. And also we wanted to wait for Ron Nevison, which is somebody we wanted to work with. And so while we were writing songs, he was making himself available and so on. So it took a while, but it worked out well. We're very happy with the results.
You ever thought of producing a Kiss album?
We do.
No, you personally, like
Oh, me
produced by Gene Simmons, or Ron Nevison, or
Why me? Why not Paul? Why not?
well, you're the person who does most of the production outside of the camp.
Well, it's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure that I would have clear perspective. Because the most difficult thing to do is to practice what you preach. What I mean by that is, if you look in, it's much clearer for somebody else when they look at you what the way things really are. They can see you without thinking about anything. When you look at yourself, you have all these other things in your mind. And also when you look into a mirror, if you look too closely, you see nothing except the two eyes looking back at you. You can't see your chin or your face or anything. So perspective is very important. And I'm not sure I would have that if I produced Kiss. It's too close, I think.
And you usually have that perspective when you produce
For other bands?
Other bands.
Well, that's easy because you're not looking at yourself, you're looking at somebody else.
Right. How do you get on producing other bands? They approach you.
They approach me.
Is it? I mean, what do you get out of this?
Satisfaction. Satisfaction that, well, first of all, it's creative. And then the idea is also to do something, to achieve something. Why does anybody want to climb a mountain? Because it's there. You want to get to the top. You want to climb it. And when you climb it, there's a satisfaction when you reach the top. You want something? No?
Well, because you are, I mean, there's talks of Paul being on the verge of recording his second solo album.
Me too.
And you too? Alright. Because I was thinking, he's recording his solo album, but you never did that because you're sort of like producing other bands and doing...
Oh no, there's time to do everything. When it's the right time. Next year. Probably.
Well, you seem to have a lot of time because you do a lot of things.
If you plan it, if you don't have wives and dogs and houses to take care of, if you can allocate the work, You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to clean up this place, so I can just be here, eat, do whatever I want, and run, and somebody else cleans it. But if I had to clean this place, for instance, the amount of time that I clean it is that much less time that I have to myself to do other things. So whenever I do anything else, I always have partners. For instance, I don't engineer the records I produce. I have engineers.
Yeah.
So I can come in and just concentrate on producing and not have to sit there mixing it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the engineer will start mixing, and I will come in at the end and just fine-tune it.
Yeah.
So that saves 2 weeks right there. While that's going on, you can be doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
And when we don't tour, or when we don't record an album, we write songs. But you can't write songs 24 hours a day. So for 5 hours, I'll write a song, and for the rest of the day, you can do something else. You can produce another group or go out and try to find...
A lot of people keep saying...
Did you understand that?
Yeah, I understand. A lot of people always put you in an awkward position, saying that you are, you, Gene Simmons, I mean you kids, you are sort of moving more towards movies rather than cinema rather than music.
But I expected that. I knew that would happen.
No, I'm not asking you.
That's okay. I have a big mouth. I'll talk about it. Most people have small dreams. I refuse to live by their limitations. Most people in the world can't imagine of even having a recording career. If I lived my life the way they live their life, I would never have even gotten this far. So most people can conceive, at least, of having a recording career. I conceive of more. I want to have my own record company, and I'm going to. And I want to produce...
Well, you have it already.
Starting.
Yeah.
And other people can't imagine that. But that's okay, because those people should go after their dreams. Leave my dreams alone. Let me do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't care if somebody else understands it. When it's time to leave home, it doesn't matter if your mother and father understand why. You just have to go.
Yeah, that's right.
And the truth is, everything revolves around Kiss. But Kiss is not the only thing. I like girls, food, good food, books, movies, creative things. I would love to learn a couple of more languages. I'd love to learn how to write a great screenplay. I'd love to paint. Why shouldn't you try to do as many things as you can before they put you under the ground?
Yeah, that's right.
How boring to be known as a great popcorn maker. This man made the best popcorn in the world, and that's all.
Yeah.
No, he made good popcorn, didn't make a bad sandwich, made a good table. He could walk 10 miles, he could do this, he could do that.
Yeah.
You're many things,
Yeah.
I think.
But you think people see you in the right perspective, or they see you as...
Oh, I don't care about that.
I mean, is that a personal...
I don't care how people see me, I care how I see me.
Yeah.
At night you go to sleep with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you go to sleep with others. What are you smiling at? Oh, her. Hidden. At night you go to sleep with yourself.
And then you
And
see
then
whether
you...
you achieved something.
Yeah,
like that.
and the last thought you have is, how did I do today?
Mm-hmm.
Was I okay? Did I live up to my expectations? The worst thing I can think of is being disappointed in myself. That's the worst. I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah.
You get
Absolutely.
pissed. I say, fuck, I could have done that.
Yeah.
And you say, just give me one more chance, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You and Paul always said that Kiss is like entertainment, fun.
It's ear candy.
Ear candy.
Yeah, it's meant it tastes good. I'm not
For
sure.
years.
That's
Yeah.
it. I'm not sure I know what it means, except that it's fun and people have a good time with it. And if it puts a smile on your face and makes you forget about traffic jams or girlfriends who aren't loyal or whatever, then it's valid.
Is record company, is your record company something for you like on the business side? Because life is not only fun.
Everything that I do for fun also is business. Because otherwise, then just throw money out the window. If it's not going to be from business, then just throw your money out the window and let them really have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That's valid. No, the record company is my way of giving something back. Of giving something back that I got. Somebody once gave me the chance to make a record, and I want to give that back, some of that, to a new band, a couple of new bands.
Alright, well, King Cobra is not a new band.
The majority of the members in the band are.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
How do you know about King Cobra?
Just read it somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. They were signed to your record company.
Boy, that news travels fast.
Sure it does.
When did you read that?
A month ago? Can't remember where, but I know I read it somewhere. So you look for new bands more than anything else for your record company?
No, I look for things that I like, but no rules. It's just that the future of rock and roll is always new bands. You think so too? I'm in fine company. She thinks so too.
Yeah.
Let the records show she thinks so too. New bands are where the future stars are going to come from, and the new things that people want to talk about, and that's important. So although I'm on the lookout for artists who already have some experience, that's valid.
So
New bands are hungrier. You know,
Yeah.
they have to have it. It's life and death.
So it's like what, few bands that carry on for a long time, like you, and very few others, and the rest is just like refreshing continuously. You know,
You
bands
have to.
dying and bands.
That's right. A
Coming
lot of
up.
bands, most bands that record don't even get past their first album. Some bands have very big success very fast and then they die. Quiet Riot
Yeah.
and Peter Frampton
Yeah.
and the Bee Gees and tons of groups, all sorts of groups have huge success and then they die. Or they have very bad sales and then they die. But the winners, the champions, are the long distance runners. They're not the fastest. They don't try to be the fastest. They just continue running. And then while everybody who runs a little bit faster falls down, the one who wins the race is the one that never gives up. Perseverance. And champion boxers are always like that. They never go in for the kill. They jab a little bit, they jab a little bit, they tire out the guy, then they put the knockout. In the 10th round, not in the first one.
Well, you're on the 15th now.
That's right. And the champions last longest.
Yeah.
There have been other bands. It's true, Quiet Riot sold 5 million records of that first album. Now, goodbye.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're sort of there still, but
We'll see. There's a new album coming out. They can still do it. But the point is, I don't want to be a shooting star. Shooting
you are.
stars go, and they're over.
well, you haven't been. So.
That's right. Well, the point is, take your time. Take your shot, study it, go in for the long run. That's much more exciting.
Did you ever think it was not going to be like this for you? Like,
No, I was sure.
you know, there's been a time where you were not sure it was going to last that long.
No, I was sure. You have to be sure. Because if you're not, it's not going to be. Before a high dive artist a diver into a pool is going to dive, he has to know he's going to do it. You must know it first.
Mm-hmm.
No, I knew it. Even when sales were a bit down in America during the beginning 80s, but at the same time we were doing stadiums all over South America and the rest of the world, so depends where you mean down.
Because I don't know, you had an album called Unmasked,
Oh, I hated that record.
and I had the feeling that you were going to take your makeup off then,
No, the idea...
and then you were sort of like, hold on, this is not the right time, we better not do it now.
Oh no, we decided to call it Unmasked only because the story idea on top of the album was about how somebody was trying to catch us without our makeup.
Which has been a long story in the past. They were trying to take pictures
story.
of you without the makeup.
For years.
Going back to the new album, you used the help, Desmond Child.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he brought into Kiss?
Desmond Child does what a chef will know how to use spices. Desmond Child is a spice. So is any collaborator. You have your main ingredients, and then to make the food taste a little bit special, you bring in a little paprika, a little something else, a little outside the normal, or you put some wine in it, which is something else that gives a little special flavor. That makes it fresh. Otherwise, it's the same tasting food. I don't want to happen to Kiss what happened to The Who and the Stones and so many great, great bands, my favorite bands, where at the end of their career, and this is not the end of our career as far as I'm concerned, but at the end, the material started to sound tired because they didn't co-write, my opinion. Sister Disco and all that stuff, it was tired. There was no vibrancy. There was no Won't Get Fooled Again. There was no important songs. There was no My Generation. And it's tougher. The longer you last, it's tougher to write good songs because you wind up copying yourself. You wind up, how when you get used to playing a certain way, you wind up playing that way. So it's easy to copy yourself. And the important thing is never to copy yourself. And sometimes a collaborator will prevent you from doing that. He'll say, hey, wait a minute, don't do that. How about this?
Was that just the only reason why you're not copying yourself, or is something that you do without him anyway? I mean, for example, you produce other bands. Do they give you any sort of idea that you think like,
Oh, yes. Well, absolutely. But that's the point. The point is that when you meet other people and different ideas, then you get different ideas, even by watching. Sure. But I mean, it's within the confines of guitars and drums and playing loud. There's only so much you can do anyway. That's why it's so tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have to work at it.
What are the bands that you thought you worked with and were like sort of really giving you a very good vibe and inspiration for?
Who did?
Yeah.
A group called Easy O, Japanese group.
Yeah. I had the feeling it was going to be that.
Fresh. Something about them is just fresh. They're not trying to be Eddie Van Halen. They're not copying Van Halen. They're not copying AC/DC. They're not copying anybody. But there's, I hear bits and pieces, but it sounds fresh to me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the solos, different.
You had this video called Exposed. Came out beginning of the year.
She knows all this stuff.
Oh yeah, she knows all about it. Is the number 2, well, top 10 Kiss.
But she's about 19, 20, 22.
It was supposed to be, I guess, coming out at the time when you were sort of working on the album to sort of fill a gap.
Which this one, this album?
Exposed as
Oh,
a video
Exposed.
to sort of come in between, to sort of keep.
That's right. That's
Keep
just
going.
to keep the fans happy.
Yeah.
That shipped gold and went platinum right away, and it's not even released in Europe yet.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. Europe has not seen you on the Asylum tour. Don't you think that it should have been released here as well? To sort of.
As far as I'm concerned, sure. Why wasn't it done? I don't know.
So you were in control of such things.
But it's like, no, you don't control those things. You can only control so many things.
Right.
We have total control of what we put, of anything that has Kiss on it, we control. What goes into it, how it looks, how long it should be, what price it should, everything. You can't control distribution. It's too much, unless you own the distribution center, unless you own the trucks that bring the things there. But why do movies come out in America first and then 2 years later or 3 years later come out in Europe? Why? I don't know. Maybe one of the reasons.
Distribution again. Yeah.
Maybe videos are not as popular in Europe as they are in America, and they are not.
Well, yes, but
Now every home in America has a video machine. Not every home in Europe.
I know.
And when I ask the hotel for a video machine, it takes them an hour to stick it in. In America, you just and it's in.
Yeah. No, it's just it should, in my opinion, it should not work on the fact that Europe has got so much availability of video machines, or is not so widespread as in America. I mean, if you have a policy to have this out in order to fill a gap,
It should come out.
It should come out anyway,
That's right.
because the kids.
But why
want
didn't it? I can't explain it.
Um,
Will it come out? Yes.
It was very humoristic, I would say.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
How did you see it?
Thanks to Mr. T.J. Ramos.
Ah.
Was it a good? I mean, what was the purpose of it? It was like having fun.
To have fun.
Have fun of yourselves.
Originally, yeah, sure, to make fun of everything. Originally, the Polygram video came to us and they said, let's put together just videos. We said, no, that's boring. Let's do something a little interesting. Let's fool around. Take a camera and let's just go. Let's see what happens. So we planned a couple of things, like my bedroom with the girls on the wall and the girls sitting on my lap. We planned a couple of things. But the rest, we just had a good time and just let the camera roll and see what happens. Because it's not enough for us to just give you videos. You can see that on television.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to give a little special.
Well, plus there was a lot of vintage stuff.
Yes, and a lot of girls who lost their clothing. I don't know what happened. Just fell off by accident.
Well, because it was hot.
Yes, or we pulled it off. That's what it was. This one little girl had the most perfect,
No,
perfect tits.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
And she lost it too.
Yes. More than once.
I'm sure she was not very upset about it.
And she was not alone.
What was I going to do? Yeah. Other rumors. You are going to.
Kiss with makeup.
No. Thought you were not that interested in it. I mean, the only person who would take advantage of it is Ace.
That's right.
Or Peter Criss, if he was to come back.
Yeah. I'm not interested. It's the past. And I'm proud of it, but you already did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's nothing special. When you see a magician pull a rabbit out of the hat, the first time you go, ooh. And the second time you go, ah. Third time, not so exciting. Fourth time, oh, he's pulling the rabbit out of the hat. So there's no, I don't want to do an oldies show.
Would it work if Kiss came out in 1986 with makeup? If it was the other way around, say.
You mean 88?
Well,
87.
sorry, 87, 88, yeah, well.
If we did what?
If it was the other way around, Kiss have makeup now instead of 10 years ago.
But who would be in Kiss?
Well, Kiss as it is now?
Oh, would it work? No, I don't think so. Oh, you mean fresh? A new band?
Yeah. That was then, and it was right
I
for
can't
the times.
say. Maybe the times have a lot to do with it. I don't know.
Would be interesting to see. But you certainly had, as we were saying before, you said you managed to keep everything fresh.
You have to.
And you, I mean, you sort of, I think it was really the right thing to keep this expectation of when he's good, Kiss without the makeup.
That's right. And you do it when nobody is expecting it, and don't make a big deal about it. Just take it off the same way you put it on. Before we announced, we didn't say to the world, and now there's going to be a group that's going to wear makeup. You don't make an announcement. You just do it. And then if it works or doesn't work because it's either real or not real. People have to have their own opinion about it. And when we decided to take it off, we took it off. No big deal. And we took off the makeup after we played the largest show we ever played in Rio.
Rio, yeah. It was the one song we didn't expose. Yeah.
And you see that audience, it goes forever. There's a place here called Wembley Stadium, 4 times that big.
I know.
And you can't believe how many people it's like 200,000 people, and you look at it and you can't even imagine how big it is. And police helicopters above, and it goes on forever. But after we did that show, we knew this is the most we can ever take this idea. And then the caterpillar has to build a cocoon, and then the butterfly has to come out. And you have to change.
Yeah.
To survive, you have to change. That's a law of nature.
2 things again out of exposed. I can't remember whether it's you or Paul. I think it's Paul says Kiss is a special place to be. Is like a magic thing. Do you think the people who've been in the band that left, etc., realize that?
Yes. That's why Ace is talking about a reunion tour.
Well, but Ace was the original guitarist, so it's like...
So you mean Vinny and Mark St. John?
Yeah, people like that.
Absolutely. No matter what anybody thinks, when you meet Kiss fans, you realize that this is a tradition. I'm in the band, but I'm also aware when I take a step outside that there's like this legend for fans about what the group means, and that it's more than a rock and roll band to a lot of people. I know that. When I walk into a fan's room and then the whole room is like a temple to Kiss, I know that it's more than music. To him, it's something that keeps him going forward so that he can live his dream.
Yeah.
And then when you meet, when I work with groups that I produce, Keel and Black and Blue, and Ezio, every one of them says, if it wasn't for Kiss, I wouldn't be doing this. And some groups that never even entered rock and roll. I met not John Taylor, but Andy Taylor, the guitar player in Duran Duran.
Yeah.
When he finally started to play rock and roll after he left Duran Duran, he came to me and he said he saw Kiss in 1975, and because he saw us, he decided he wanted to be in a band. But I said, but you went into Duran Duran, that's a different kind of band. He said, well, it took me a while, but I finally realized it. And then he left the band.
Back to cinema.
Def Leppard too, everybody.
Yeah. What are your plans? I mean, what movies are coming out and what?
One is called Wanted, Dead or Alive. But I think it's out here now, isn't it? Do you know?
I think so.
Do you know Rutger Hauer? No.
My fellow Dutchman.
Yes. From Scheveningen.
No, he's from Friesland.
No. He said he's from Scheveningen.
Fine, he lives next door to my parents.
Well, maybe he lives there now, but he came from where Van Gogh came, and that's what I mean.
Oh,
Did you see Blade Runner?
Yeah.
He was the robot, the blonde.
Oh, yeah.
That's.
Right.
Did you see The Hitchhiker?
No.
No. Did you see Lady Hawk?
Yes.
Yes. He was the knight.
Right.
So in this movie, he plays the good guy and I play the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
And he plays a cop, a bounty hunter, and I play an Arab terrorist who has a lot of money and a lot of women.
Do you like to play the bad guy?
I do, but it's time to play good guys. In the future, I'm going to be doing good guys. I want to get the girl at the end.
Yeah, because even in Exposed, you seem like the good guy out of the two, I would say. Because the rest of the band is not really in there.
Even in Exposed, what happened?
You seem to be the bad guy,
Yeah,
and Paul seems to be
the good guy.
good guy.
I don't know why that is. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. I was born bad, I guess. I don't know.
Are you saying something more about the movies, about the cinema? Is it just this movie coming out, or?
That one, that came out in January in America. There's another movie called Never Too Young to Die, which came out a little before that. And another movie called Trick or Treat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that came out.
Yeah.
I did not like that movie. But the original part that was offered to me in that movie was the rock and roll guy, the one that dressed in leather and all that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. But I thought that the disc jockey in the beginning, who has a conversation with the fan, said something I thought had to be said.
Yeah.
That rock and roll is music, and don't take it too seriously. Don't take anything too seriously.
Well, last question. There's been one point in your career when you were playing for 12-year-old kids, more or less.
Younger, 3-year-olds.
So let's say in between, about 9. Was it? What was the feeling?
It happened
It
by
was
accident.
like satisfaction, or
Oh,
or
sure.
It's like,
No,
I
satisfaction.
don't want this.
No, it's fine. Whoever comes to see Kiss, it's fine. It happened by accident. We were a straight rock and roll band who played to whoever came to see us, usually 18 to 25-year-olds. Now it's back to 18 to 25-year-olds. And then the toys, the Kiss pinball machines and the dolls and the radios, all that, and the comic books came out. And then the age group got very young because of the toys, because they saw heroes. They didn't know about the records.
Yeah.
And then they heard that we were coming to town, so it was like, the circus is coming to town. So they went to see the show.
But was that deterring the old fans to
Yes.
follow the band?
Sure, some old fans got very pissed off, and they thought it was a kiddie band. So they left for a couple of years. Then they came back.
Right. So it's like you had to play the part.
No, we were
And you had-
ourselves.
you-
We did whatever we did. We felt whatever we
No,
did.
I mean you didn't go like easier on the music.
No, we
also
did
the-
whatever we felt we were.
Oh, so it was outside the music, so totally.
Nothing to do with
Straight
it. It just
from-
happened. But imagine being 12 years old and seeing your first concert is Kiss. Who are you going to see after that that's going to give you a kick?
Not many bands,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So if we were the first group for virgin ears, that's not so bad, because then they expect the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not enough then for them to see a group who comes out and just stands there and doesn't sweat,
Yeah.
because they're afraid their hair, will get messed
Well,
up.
especially at the time we were still wearing masks, so it was like
That's right.
a cartoon kind of.
So I have no problem with that. I think it's fine. Whoever goes to a show goes because they want to have a good time. 12, 20, 30, or 40, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.